from just outside the perimeter of Atlanta, Georgia, where we've traded our maté for a tasty double latte.
Yes.
You warned us it was going to be bad, and
no, it's actually really good. And it's not going to be the first. He is not the first already this season because I already made one.
Yeah, double latte
reference.
I think is gonna take hold.
The double latte
for sure. Wait till we get a triple latte. It is the Five Takes podcast. We are back.
Are we back?
Yeah, back like Canada, reminding USA who really owns hockey. It was fun for a minute beating Canada, and then they put us back into our place in this Four Nations League tournament that's been going on. That's actually been pretty entertaining. I think pretty successful. I'd be for more of it. Hockey is fun. The Footy Mob jersey that just landed in my mailbox a couple days ago. The Believe in Mobland shirt is very nice.
Everyone wearing that shirt was getting asked, where did you get that shirt? So Curtis, if you are listening, please open up another run of that shirt.
All over New York, baby.
It's beautiful, and I've had like 17 people ask me
the embroidery, the patch, like it's solid. It's really great.
Really.
It was not the cheapest of supporters merch, but the quality shows, and I mean, it
do that kind of kit all the time. This was super special for its own limited run. I actually have to get mine altered.
Also, Iron Tooth Design, if you're listening. Everybody keeps asking about the Miggy Stardust stuff. So if you wanted to reissue the Miggy Stardust shirts and the skirts, now would be a good time to help your supporter friends out with new things that we need to wear or that we may or may not have outgrown or shrunk from in 2017, 2018.
That's right. People change.
It's been a minute.
This could be
middle age is upon us.
This could be the year of the very successful merch drops. If this team continues on the trajectory it's currently on. If everybody stays healthy, if we win, vibes are high. People want to spend money. People want swag. They want shirts. They want flags. They want custom apparel because, I mean, that's just the cause of having like a really good team. Which I know we say this every year that the team looks great on paper. I'm not entirely opposed to just playing the game on paper. I don't think we have to go on the pitch, but we did go on the pitch yesterday and we looked pretty good. Very different. Still some things we have to fix, but nothing if not entertaining. And that's a step in the right direction.
It's been a while since we were 65,000 strong and all feeling it.
Yeah.
You know, the vibe was really there at the tailgate and into the stadium. I really think the vibe was there.
Take it out of the stadium. We've had some moments in the stadium. The playoff match against Miami and the playoff match against Columbus. I think the home opener last year, the vibes were really high, and there was a lot of optimism in March of last year when we were in the building, and it was starting to feel like it did again. But where it didn't feel like it didn't, where it hadn't felt the same was in the old tailgate lot.
True.
Right.
Yeah. Being in lot 17, much closer to the Benz. It's just a better space. It's a better area, and people were having a good time in the not too bitter cold. It was okay.
People were having such a good time that almost every SG ran out of beer and liquor.
Well, that would be because Resurgence just played liquor ball like nonstop, man.
But they've always played liquor ball like nonstop. Like that's just a thing.
It was just there were a lot of people at the tailgate. I mean, maybe not more than I've ever seen because I've only been to maybe a dozen.
That was the largest tailgate attendance we have had in the better, I think, since before the pandemic.
Yeah, I was going to say,
we were at lot 17 before.
Yeah. Since we were at lot 17, and
that is a big part of it. Like for me, a lot of times, because I only have a very short window. I usually only have like the game window to be able to get to and from a game. Yeah. So the tailgate being where it was over off of MLK for as many years as it was, that was a factor for me, being able to get over there.
Oh,
in
we know.
time,
We had to
and then
leave you a
have to
trail
walk
of
back.
breadcrumbs just so you could find where it was many times.
Exactly. No, but I'm just saying.
We had to give you like a Goonies style map just so you could find the tailgate.
So when I'm like Ubering and Marta-ing and doing all the things trying to get over from CNN and everything, it's not an easy tailgate to get to for like commuters, you know, if you're unless you have a car. So it did deter me a couple of different times. I'm like, I don't have an extra hour to dedicate to getting there. No, I know
an
it
extra
sounds ridiculous.
hour.
No, not just to get there. I'm saying to be able to get to the tailgate and spend any time there.
Right.
You know, I would have to get an extra hour to get there. So,
you know, the ironic thing in all of this is that we've moved the tailgate location back to 17, which is considerably closer to the Benz and its entrance points, right?
Very much so.
And I got about 4,000 or 5,000 more steps than I normally do on a match day yesterday. I don't know how that all worked out.
Well, it's funny because when I got there, they were like, I haven't seen Jennifer in an hour.
If you haven't seen Jennifer's heat map, it was it's all over.
She was all over the map.
It was all over that tailgate.
Which is good.
You were there,
it's great. That
if
shows
you were
a
there
lot.
and you said hi or whatever, and I didn't acknowledge. I'm sorry.
And thank you to everybody who did say hi, including the people that were wearing our shirt. Very cool. Again,
spotted a couple 5 takes jerseys out in the wild.
I
that was
don't
great.
care how long we do this, how many episodes we do, and how big we get. I will never get used to it, ever. Of people just coming up and saying hello and complimenting and saying how much they enjoy the show, and it always will always be taken back by it. It's super humbling, it's super cool, and it's just really good to be back, and we really appreciate all that love, and we appreciate the love that everybody gives to all the other media outlets there too, and different podcasts out there. It's a good thing that we all have a space. We're all unique shows and we all have our own different flavors, and there's space for all of us to do our thing. It's really cool. I hope it keeps going. I was sad to see the AJC discontinue Southern Fried Soccer from Doug Roberson. That bummed me out a lot because I think we just need more of this, and I think there's plenty of room at the table for it to happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things right now that are going on with on the political side, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to say that. There's so many things that are ending. There's so many things that are being forced to end.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, everything is all tied together. Everything is usually tied to money, you know, which is a pity.
Yeah.
But that's just the world that we live in. And we lived in that world before. We lived in that world a year ago, you know.
We realized too that, you know, hey, look, it's for, you know, we're providing free content. We're just, you know, friends who want to talk about soccer and whatever.
Right.
But it is really important that if you have any bandwidth or ability to do so, that you support the paid media in this town in whatever capacity, whether it's joining somebody's Patreon or whether it's subscribing
$1 here,
to the
there,
AJC, like supporting real journalism, actual human beings, and not AI. Writing your articles, commentary, conducting interviews, and providing, you know, fact-checked information. Don't stop spending your money on that.
Hey, speaking of AI, before we get into takes on Atlanta, I saw that San Diego SDGPT got their
oh no!
Please make that their new hashtag.
I'm sorry,
that's just perfect.
But I'm genuinely happy
San
for them.
Diego
Look,
GPT. That's amazing.
I was going to call them Copy and Paste FC.
Well, Copy and Paste FC got it done tonight. Driving home from the Hawks
Bangers
game.
Only too.
Driving home from the Hawks game tonight, which the Hawks lost again. We won't mention them. They got a 2-0 win over the reigning champs, LA Galaxy, who are probably going to struggle due to injuries, namely Ricky Puig. But that is not easy for your first game ever to go on the road to the champs and 2-0?
On banner raising ring night.
Ooh. You know,
and hey, mad props to the new San Diego faithful. They rolled deep, and granted, it's 120 miles. That's a 2-hour drive. No biggie, but yeah, they had to have had at least 1,000 traveling supporters.
Looked like more than that. I mean, I just caught like the last 10 minutes of it as I was walking to my car. It looked like a party. So I'm here for it. I mean, your kits are bland as hell. It's okay. If you're playing good football and you're building good culture. You're not going to be
looking at the kits. They're going to buy them anyway.
Well, and hey, look, as we said last week with our friends from Mixtape, it's going to be cheap to get on that bandwagon. Buy yourself a plain white tee. You're all in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Santiago.
All right. That's enough shade thrown at them.
Vagina.
All right. Let's
if anyone's ever seen Anchorman,
I've seen Anchorman a million times.
That's what he
you
said.
Stay classy over there, Kat.
Yeah.
You just stay classy.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
I was trying to set up a segue from Anchorman to Mason Mill somehow, but I got nothing. So I'm just going to say thank you to Mason Mill. If you are new to listening to this pod, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And also, when we were talking about things to support, Mason Mill would be one of them. They are a chiropractor in town, and they have been riding with us almost from the jump of this pod. And Kat and I have been going to them long before we even started this pod, long before Atlanta was even a thing. And they've been a pretty integral part of both of our healths. And chiropractic care, it's an important part of your health. Preventative maintenance. Trust me, when you get in your mid-40s, when you're in your 20s, do some work then. Take care of yourself before you get into middle age. You will thank me. I wish I had done so when I was in my 20s, but I refused to listen to anybody who was in their 40s at the time. So don't be like me.
Well, you feel so invincible when you're in your
But now
20s.
All my friends who were in their 40s at that time are now in their 60s. I'm listening intently. Please tell me what horrors await. I'm so sorry I didn't listen to you before. But
I'm still at that point where I'm like, nah.
I digress.
Happened to me.
Go to Mason Mill. They're phenomenal there. Dr. Cohen and Dr. Miner are the primary doctors that will see you there. Both have their own kind of different styles and approaches, but they will listen to you and give you whatever you need and whatever your body needs. It's not just like a kind of cookie cutter experience where you're just going to get the same treatment every time and you don't feel heard. It's phenomenal.
And they're real people.
They're real
Dr.
people.
Cohen,
Not
Dr.
AI.
Cohen Dr. Cohen was seen in the wild by my mother in the middle of the week, last week. So, and they had a quick chat, and he asked how she was doing, how she was feeling, how her back was doing, how her feet were doing, because those are her specific issues. They care. He remembered what her issues are, and they were able to have a quick moment. And that was nice. He's a wonderful guy, and he's a wonderful doctor, and they will take care of you.
It's a rare thing. A rare thing.
Yes.
Where can we find them, Glenn?
You can find them here in Atlanta, in Decatur specifically, off Bacano Mill Drive. You can call them too, 404-321-0082, and find them on the web at masonmillchiro.com. You can book an appointment there, or you can book over the phone, and they're very good about fitting you in and working with your schedule and changes and all of that. Give them a try. I promise you won't be disappointed. Pick up some stickers while you're there. And if you do end up going, you are a new patient, it would be really helpful if you just kind of give us a little nod when you went there and let them know who sent you. Appreciate it. Alrighty. Moving on to takes. Oh,
you know who else won 2-0 today, by the way? Liverpool.
Moving on.
Old news. Moving on. Liverpool won the Prem. Thanks. Have a nice year.
Tottenham's on a 3-game heater. Big Ange salvaging his career.
Yeah, they're grand.
Don't talk about Bruno.
12.
I got you. Takes. All right. Yes.
Wait, but before we get to takes, we do need to celebrate. We need to celebrate a very important milestone.
That's true. There was one.
The 5 Takes family.
Yes. Okay. Before we get into takes,
there was a big deal. Bird sighting.
There was a bird sighting
at the tailgate yesterday.
Yes.
Bird watching.
Kat, you want to take us there?
Bird
yes.
watching.
So, finally, we were able to get Kristen Jr., as my wife calls my daughter, to a match. She, like I explained, she's been to several Atlanta United 2 matches, and she got to spend an awesome time with us last year at the Benz for the She Believes Cup. But for lots of different reasons, it's been difficult to actually be able to get her to a first team match. And we were actually finally able to do that last night. And I have been promising her that we would get her on the podcast after she got to go to her first match, but she had to go to bed tonight, and this is the 5 Takes After Dark. So we decided to do a little pre-record so that you guys could get her takes on her first match.
All right. And with that, here is the little bird known as Sparrow / Kristen Jr.
Hey, everybody. We're here with my daughter. This is Sparrow. She got to finally attend her very first Atlanta United match last night. She had been to a couple of Atlanta United 2 matches before, and she was so lucky to go to the She Believes Cup with us last year. But for lots of different reasons, we weren't able to get her to one of the, first team matches, and we were finally able to go last night.
Because I was sick.
A couple of times you've been sick. That's right. Okay, so did you have so much fun last night? Yeah, I know. It was great, wasn't it? What did we do before the match started? Where did we go?
To the tailgate.
To the tailgate. That's right. I know. And wasn't that so fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you do when we were at the tailgate? Do you remember?
Boing.
Boing. What's the boing? Boing. What did you do? What is that? She went in the bounce house.
Boing, boing.
Everybody had there was a huge setup. It was so great to be back in that lot. And you got to see everybody pop the flares and everything like that, right? Remember all the big fire and the big gathering, everything at the beginning when everybody was getting really excited? Remember that? That was so fun. I know. What did you have a special drink at the tailgate? Do you remember what you had?
Coca.
She had a Coca-Cola. I don't think we try to give things that don't have that much sugar because, as you can see, sugar goes straight to this one's head. So she had, I think, maybe her first full-bodied Coca-Cola at the tailgate. But, special occasions being what they were, it was fun, right? So what was your favorite part of the whole night?
Okay, so the food.
Uh-huh.
We winning.
Us winning. Uh-huh. And?
Mommy writing my name on the spike
on
the computer.
Right.
Because the line
was so long. That's right.
And that's it for me.
What did we have? What did we have to eat?
Pizza. Churro.
Pizza and okay, so we had pizza and then what did you have?
A churro.
A churro. I know. Was it yummy? Yeah. Cinnamony. I know. So good. I know.
I had cinnamony pants and a cinnamony shirt.
That's right. And a cinnamony shirt because it was very messy. So did you get to bring anything home from the match?
Flags and a doggy spike.
Yeah, we got you a spike. That's
He's
right.
actually a mascot.
He is the mascot. Very good, Sparrow. Ouch. So put your hand out. Which goal was the most fun? Was it the first one, the second one, or the third one?
What's the third one?
The third one was almost at the end. It's what gave it was the winner, the match winner. Mm-hmm. What do you think? First one, second one, or third one? 2 and 3? Yeah, those were all of them. You liked all of them?
I can't help myself.
I know. All right, Sparrow, is there anything else you want to tell everybody about your first match? Nope. Okay, that's it. Thanks, everybody. Sparrow had a great time, and I'm sure it was just the first of many from here on out, probably this season. Cheers.
All right, so that's adorable.
Yeah,
I like that we're
fun.
Featuring that's our second kid we've had on the pod.
Yes,
this
yes.
season. It's good to show like these people. We're gonna be handing the reins off of this thing,
Yeah, I told Sparrow too that I was going to talk to Miss Jennifer and that we would try to do a kids-only podcast, like a kids-only episode. Well, not kids-only because adults will have to work the computers.
Adult moderator.
Yeah, exactly. But that we want to get, we'll do a kids episode, a kiddos episode or something like that.
Play the kids.
Yeah, like you said, play the kids because they're the future.
Yep.
You know who else? You know who else's kid had a really had himself a day yesterday?
Little Miggy Jr.
Little
Francesco.
Miggy.
He walked out with Miggy. That was sweet. That was
wait. No, I don't know if you saw the whole Insta reels that Miggy's wife put on there, where he walked out onto the pitch and it was too loud for him.
Yeah, I know.
And he was covering his ears. And then his dad got announced and he had to cover his ears again because it was so deafeningly loud in there.
Yeah. I like the little blurb to it as is like, don't worry, son, you know, like Miggy knows how loud it gets here and things like that.
Yeah, it was so cute. It was, and then he had his own little locker room, his own little locker set up. Yeah. Like it was the most adorable thing ever. And then my favorite was on, and this didn't make the team one. This is on his wife's Insta reel, is where he was doing the Viking clap along with Daddy up in their suite. And then the minute it was over, he went right back to just eating his popcorn.
That's right.
Just no transition, just, you know, in the net, slam dunk, boom.
That's what it means to be raised in the culture, quite literally. From the womb. We are setting these kids on a path on the right.
Well,
path,
you had your womb was at the games.
My womb was my womb was at the cup. Yep. So every trophy, well, except for the one. No, not the Open Cup because that was in 19. But but the important stuff, all of the important home games, Sparrow was witness to, and
yeah, the bird just wasn't hatched yet, but was there.
That's exactly what it is.
All right.
Exactly
I will say she Miggy's wife is my low key man of the match for providing us all of this
all of the cuteness.
Fabulous match day cuteness content that we are all living for in this day and age. So yeah, who'd you guys have for low key this week?
Ooh,
I didn't really have one, honestly. Not a low key. There wasn't anybody like. Everybody kind of just did the job. No one really stood out to me in an under the radar sort of way. You could go with Click, I suppose.
I was going to say Click, but what's funny is that I was going to say that in the first half, I thought he actually did really, really well. And then in the second half, I was like, ooh, what the hell are you doing, man?
You could say that
I said that about 4 or 5 times. I was like, ooh, Click, what are you doing? And like, there were like a lot of missed passes and like I kind of didn't understand where his head was. So he was my low key for the first half.
2 low keys.
And then then it kind of changed. And I mean, Jennifer, you pointed out too that Ronnie Dyla had something to say about the second half. And we know that there was some drop off and there was maybe some focus issues and things like that. And so I think that was a little bit apparent, but I would have said Click definitely for the first half. And I like,
you know what I noticed watching Mateusz Click play?
Huh?
Is that from the back, watching Mateusz Click from the back, watching him play, he looks like Kirk Cameron in Growing Pains.
Yeah, little bit, and we don't like him, so we won't.
He's actually him and Saba are kind of hard to tell apart. From a
Click is a little
taller. Very obvious curly faux hawk.
It's a mullet.
They look similar from a distance.
Call it what it is.
And Saba has very distinctive Euro
trash.
I was trying to be nice.
That's
He's a really good
player. I know. It's Euro trash hair. He's not Euro trash.
I've been sitting on the beach all day and then I went into the disco bathroom in Ibiza hair.
Well, what's funny too is that every time his hair does whatever it does, it's because he is frustrated. He'll run his hands through his hair when he like misses a shot or misses a pass. Or he does or he'll do like a long run and then it ends in nothing. He'll run his hand through his hair real fast and it'll just kind of stand up. And he looks like the Wolf Man or something, you know. And I do like it.
I'm gonna put it out there that the real low key man of the match, the guy whose name didn't get called a whole lot, but we're not winning this match without, is one player named Alexei Moranchuk.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything bad.
No. And he had an interesting attempt, and I watched it. Now, Glenn, I remember when
he
said
the
that
assist to
it was the one.
No, that was Miggy on the second one, sort of.
Yeah, and you even said that it was like it was when he did that shot where he tried to go through the legs, and you even said it. You were standing next to me, and you said, "I'm going to need more." And I know, and you're like, there just wasn't enough on it. But then when I watched the highlights, and then I also did a rewatch, but when I watched the highlights and it was featured as a shot. it actually was very cheeky and very like kind of IQ
it was a
and
great
intelligent
save by their goalkeeper.
It was, but he didn't have
really
a lot on it.
Yeah,
he didn't have a lot on it. I think maybe if there had been more power in that shot, it actually might have come to something.
Look, I know everybody's expecting me to take shots at Alexi every time. I'm not going to. It was fine.
No, but you're not giving him any credit at all either, though. You're saying
I'm not
fine.
I'm not giving him credit. It just didn't stand out to me in a way that like is a take or something. But that's also not a bad thing.
I don't think he's going to be that kind of player for us. And I guess that's why I keep talking about it, because in theory, your DP 10 should be the flashy, make all these plays and make us all go, ooh, ah, whatever. He's got Miggy on the right. He's got Saba on the left, and he's got Latté
Look, as long as
he's always going to be the background guy with those three guys there. So I think we maybe need to reframe how we look at his play.
Okay, so then tell me what kind of player
Well, not really. I don't think we have to reframe it. If Latté is succeeding, if Miggy is succeeding, if Saba is succeeding, Alexi is succeeding. He's part of that
I think
chain.
all three of them did last night.
So anytime a lot of those, I praise any of those players, I'm actually praising Alexi. I'm just not using his name.
I also would like to highlight his service on corners. I thought his service coming in on corners was actually really, really good balls into really good spaces that created a lot of dangerous opportunities.
Like Alexi's balls. We got it.
I knew it was coming. All right. Number one.
You and your obsession with balls, Kat.
Number one. The biggest change that I saw from last year,
jealous,
and I think that Ronnie would like this to change a little bit, there was virtually no build-up play. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. We also weren't just like hoofing it long and Benteke goes up and wins a goal a la DC. Like, no, not like that. But we were direct. And that shows in the pass stats as well. Usually in the past, we have been a 500 plus passing team, completed passes. And we're usually in the 90, 91%, certainly above 85% completed passes. Our passing completion was 80%, and we were around 350, 360. That is a big change. That is going more direct. That is using 12 or less passes at the start of a sequence to go to goal, including our third goal.
Our third goal, and because you and I talked about it, our third goal from when we took possession was 5 passes. That's it. 5.
I think we're going to see more of that.
And we all consider that third goal to be one of the better team goals that we've scored in a long time.
Absolutely, because it was so precision. Everything.
Precision strike.
And it was just quick touch. Every pass was one touch. Mm-hmm. One touch go. 5
I'm here for it.
Perfect passes. And to be fair too, like if Edwin hadn't taken that shot, it still would have been an excellent sequence. It was so well worked from as soon as we took possession to where we made it down to. It was perfect. It was FIFA. It was, it was PlayStation worthy. It was really, really good. I watched it over and over and over.
How do you not give Latté the hockey assist on that either? Because his pass to Miggy, who's amazingly brilliant pinpoint pass to Mascara, and then
they're just all good. Every pass is good. They're pinpoint and they're
beautiful ball work. But I think you're right, because I was reading that article that we were talking about before in the AJC that Ken Segura wrote, where it's like, okay, we got a little of this coming, but we got a little of that, and I love this phrasing from Dyla, where he talks about the team having succumbed to a case of ego in the second half and putting too many touches on the balls rather than connecting passes. And that advancing forward and losing possession left Atlanta vulnerable. And, quote, I don't fancy that, Dyla said.
Okay.
So Dyla absolutely wants us playing. I don't know that, like you said, the DC model, but at least playing with purposeful intent. Yeah. And what I will say, and I think there was some discussion about this after, when Rob finally got the team clicking toward the very end of last season. It takes a long time to break some of those possession-based habits. And one little thing that I noticed yesterday was even when they were trying to get to where they were starting build-up again, I was seeing passes kind of go, instead of going backward, they were kind of going on a minimal diagonal angle up. So they weren't going back to the goalie. They weren't necessarily moving forward like in a way that was, but from where I was standing, I could see at least there was some sort of forward motion, even if it was on a very short angle diagonally.
I get you.
Okay.
And I get you. All y'all were glad for this video of me waving my hands.
No, I get you. If you're not watching the video portion of this, you're missing a whole lot of gesticulating and something. You were talking about breaking habits and stuff. One thing that unfortunately hasn't changed, at least not yet, switching off after scoring. The attack is exciting. I don't know how realistic it is to ask 3 goals of it every time in order to win matches. Some starting defenders are out. I know. Brooks is out. Pedro's out. Williams isn't 100%. I don't even think Stien's 100%.
No, they said he was still kind of...
So, that is what it is. And hopefully that gets better. I still... And I kind of hate it for Goose. Because Goose, 40 years old, still got it, by the way. Still got it.
He does.
Oh my God. That one save, not the crossbar one, but the one right before that where he got his giant whole
big
hand,
old palm.
Big old paw on that ball and said, "No, sir."
Well, it's funny too, because I looked at Glenn and I was like, and Glenn said, "Incredible save." And I was like, nah, I think that's a save he should make. And what I meant by that was, it wasn't that spectacular. And then when I rewatched it today, I was like, no, actually, that was a hell of a save. And that's his 6'4" frame with that super long extension and that big polar bear paw. No, and he can still get down to it. He can still be the shot stopper if he needs to be. Is he perfect? No, but he can make the stops that he needs to make.
I think his sheets are going to be a little dirty. And that's not a slight on him. No, I just think playing the way we want to,
better of stopping them before they get to him.
Playing the way we want to play, which, given the options, I think I prefer. There's going to be those opportunities, and he's going to get scored on. I don't want the 3-2, the 4-2, the 4-3 games. I really don't. Listen, I'm all for cheap burritos. Like, great. You know, I hope we do have a 5-0, 7-0 game at some point, and we all rock up to Moe's the next day with a $1 bill in our hand saying, "Give me my burrito." That would be great. But we also have to, and it sounds like Ronnie is recognizing this, not play so open. I don't think we were reckless, but I think the team's understanding what he wants. Forward. Okay, but also, some.
Right.
Yeah.
I go ahead, Jennifer.
I was just gonna say that, like, I feel like this is where, I want so badly to be on the whole "we're back" bandwagon. I want so badly to commit all the energy and the passion, and I have just been burned so very badly for the last 4 seasons of all this like heady excitement and all this what could be. It's the beautiful. Yes, I am traumatized.
We are.
So,
yeah.
We can look on the one hand and, like Glenn said, we're missing 3 defensive starters, but also this habit of checking out mentally after scoring is not a new thing.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking for. I'm not saying we got beat technically. It is these like weird like switch off collectively. I don't get it.
And it's mind blowing. And we've got a history of, not being able to break out of, extended down cycles, especially like when you get into like Q2 of the season. And those are patterns that I'm going to need to see that Dyla is capable of breaking before I can really get on board with this, because, and we may very well need another piece because, look, credit to Matt Edwards, who made his MLS debut. He's a homegrown player.
Young. Very good.
And
very good.
And he
young.
He was very good.
He did admirably well, and they knew it, and they loaded up on his side, and I think he did the very best that he could with the tools that he had at his disposal. All that being said, if you've got Cincy coming into town and they're loading up on that side, and you've got Miami coming into town and they see that and they exploit it as a weakness, we don't have an answer for it right now.
No, that's 100% true. I think so much of some of the defensive woes from last night, if you want to even call them that, are exactly related to what we said. We don't have the starters. It is also the first game. It's the first game in the stadium, in the atmosphere, all the players being what they are. This isn't the starting 11. I hate that too. I hate starting off the season with people injured. That sucks. But we still got the 3 points, and we got three goals. Three goals on opening night with the non-starting 11. Yes, we did have our kind of starting forwards, but I mean,
forwards we did. Forwards was fine.
I mean, the attacking squad, as it were. But I still think we got to give a little bit of credit to the fact that we did get everything accomplished that we did, and it was the first match. No, I understand. I understand completely.
Well, and my expectations is in terms of like where this team is going to be come June are really different because you give this team a couple of months training together, you get everybody up to full fitness, you get people like, can you imagine what this is even?
I can't imagine it.
Well, so my question, really what I was going to get to with that though, is when we have a new coach again, and even before when Gonzo was the new coach and we had Yorgos as the new player and we had, Thiago was there, but then he left. And so then that space had to be filled. We've had a whole different swap over of personnel over the last 4 or 5 seasons, but our issues with switching off after we score has been consistent. So how is that possible that we have, because it's a different coach, different players? Are we just somehow, is it like an AU curse?
No, and you know what? I think,
how is it possible?
I think it's going to be broken this season, and here's my case for why.
Why? What breaks it now?
We didn't really see that in the playoff run. I think Rob finally started to break this. I think Ronnie's going to owe Rob, send him a thank you card for getting this team kind of on the right track. I think Ronnie Dyla has a much harder time if he's taking over for Gonzo. So I'm actually as dismayed as I was when we sacked Gonzo and didn't have a replacement. Hindsight 2020, I think I'm good with it. Because I think Ronnie Dyla, if he had been available, he wasn't, would have had a much harder time. I'm really grateful to Rob and the runway that he paved for Dyla to have success, and I think he's
especially with our new players.
And it's fine. So Ronnie saw this, and I'm sure the players saw this, and like, okay, that has to be broken. It just does. It's all good. We won 3 points.
Yep.
We must break.
Well, and that's that is the thing that is different for me, right? Because that happens to the 2024 edition of Atlanta United, and they fold like we lose at we draw at we don't get those 2 bonus points.
Yeah,
right?
We draw at best last night.
Like I said, I'm not upset. I'm not upset about it. I again understand this is still part of the preseason. My concern is I look ahead at the next 5 games that we have. None of them are easy.
Yeah,
they're all basically against the top teams in the entire East. So we're going to find out really fast what this team is made of and what this team is capable of.
All right, let's talk about something positive.
Okay.
Some other areas that we have been lacking. Set piece production. Nice to see us get a goal straight away from that. You would think in a game as fluid as soccer, where the ball's just kind of always constantly moving, when you get the opportunity to stop the ball and kick it towards the net, that you might result in more goals. And we really don't do that a whole lot. I think it started to get better last year, and we've had like spurts of it. But I would really love to see more emphasis, especially on corner kicks, especially on free kicks that are in or, not in, but near the box.
Yeah.
To really, even throw-ins. I would love a long throw-in, coach.
I want a long throw-in specialist.
I would love
Somebody's
it.
got to
Treat
be
that
able
as a
to do
set
it.
piece. I wish more teams would do it. You're close to the box. Treat these as scoring opportunities. And maybe we don't even have to get too clever with it now. We still have Stian. 6'7" Norwegian is great. But Latté's vertical? Okay.
That boy can jump.
Yeah.
I would like to, if I may, take you on a strange journey.
Do I need mushrooms for this?
No.
Oh. Okay.
The appropriate response is how strange was it? And have either one of you ever been to Rocky Horror? And
yes,
if not,
I have. It's been a long time.
Okay. Anywho, let me take you on a journey back to 2023. Back to 2023 when we scored the most goals in the league off of set pieces.
I know that was wild.
2020 because we had a lot of who was hitting bangers from parking lots.
That's a little bit. That's a little bit different. When you got somebody who can just hit upper 90. Then
but also we have guys who can hit upper 90. Did you see Mascara's goal? Because I did.
But I'm not from Mascara isn't taking set pieces. That's what I'm saying. But Mascara's goal was a banger.
But also the service from Brooks Lennon on corners, and he had that connection with Gigi that for whatever reason, whether it was Gigi checking out, which is what I tend to think it is, or maybe Brooks might have played a little bit injured. Whatever, like we fell off the map with set pieces last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not, oh, hey, this is something that we weren't ever able to do. This is something we used to be quite good at.
I disagree.
That we didn't have last year.
I disagree.
No, I think
you don't
Thiago,
the 2023 goal.
Yeah, but I think that was a one-off. That was a one-off season that we did that.
Yeah. If you got somebody that can one guy do it, I'm talking about a couple guys doing it. I'm talking about Saba putting a ball in and someone going up and win it.
We don't know what this team will be capable of with set pieces. It could be a thing again. We don't know.
It looks like it'll be a thing.
I will say this, by the way, like Stian is what, 6'7"?
I think so.
Some crap
6'7",
like that.
6'6", somewhere around there.
Latté,
NBA height.
Latté is 5'10".
That's what I'm saying. Dude's got vertical.
5'10", and he was that header. He is 2 feet over the guy.
It was sweet too. Like it was like a 180. He goes up and then
he did like that,
and then mid-air he turns his body, and I'm just like.
But remember what I said. Remember what I said last year when I was looking at some of his highlights or some of his reels. Is that he's listed as 165 pounds. He feels maybe even a little bit heavier than that. Like he feels almost like he's maybe like 185 because he kind of throws himself around, but he's quick. Like he throws I feel like he's like 6'1", 185, but he's moving himself around very nimbly. I have a lot of optimism.
What you're getting here with Latté is a player who has 4 inches on Joseph. 4 inches on Joseph, and Joseph's vertical.
That's true. But he's also got a hell of a lot longer stride, and he's able to, like, some of his crossovers when he was dribbling, it looks really good. It looks really good. He looks like a European player, a successful in his prime European player. He's 26.
Yeah, he's pretty built too. Strong thighs.
Let's go. I like it.
Next one. Pressure, counter pressure, effective, pretty organized. It's impressive, especially this early on, because if you want to collectively press the way we want to and the way Ronnie wants us to, that takes a ton of communication. I was happy to see that. Everybody was talking, and I mean everybody was talking. That's good. If we're already getting that understanding, this sort of Vulcan mind meld between players, that should bode well for the rest of the season.
It's only going to get better.
We were, at least in the first half, more in the first half than in the second. We got a little gassed in the second, true. But we were winning, I think my count was 5 balls, maybe 6 in their half. That's pretty good. That's pretty good value for the tactic. That's good reward for running a lot. And they were running a lot.
I didn't see people standing around either.
No.
And well positioned to win a ball. And everybody just kind of understood the assignment, as the kids say.
Yeah.
The other thing that I saw that was really impressive in that same vein was all the little back heels. There were so many little back heels and little flicks to space that was actually, and this is something we definitely didn't see last year. That space was occupied by our own players.
No,
it was so cool,
and it was none more apparent than in that 5 pass that led to Mascara's goal. It was so strategic. It was like it was a training ground. It was so precision, one touch. I can't harp on it enough. It was excellent. It looked like honestly, it almost looked like a Liverpool squad, the way that they moved it in 11 seconds.
Liverpool squad?
Yeah.
Wow.
They moved it from in 11 seconds and 5 passes from when we gained possession almost in the final third in our half to a goal. It was almost perfect.
All I'm saying is that, like, we're going to have so much fun watching this team this year. They're probably going to give us fits and they're going to do things that frustrate us. Yeah. But my God, when we get to watch something like that, Mascara subbing in and 3 minutes later, the ball is in the net, get in my veins.
Yeah. That did not surprise me at all. Mascara has been clutch on occasion in that same, that was a very similar goal to what he scored with Red Bull when we thought we had the winner and we didn't, and we drew, and I cried on your shoulder when we were at Mike and AJ's house that night. That was brutal. But he scored a goal similarly. Mascara, he's not a take, but he should get a lot of love here because he's been on quite the journey too. I mean, this man was on the outs, on loan, didn't work, comes back, and he hasn't seen a lot of minutes, had some injuries, inconsistent playing time, but the guy shows up in really big moments.
He has a great attitude. He has a great attitude.
Yes.
I really think he has taken the changeover in management and coaching as a big opportunity because, no, I'm not surprised that he came out and scored this goal because you know what he did? All preseason, he did the same thing. Mm-hmm. When he was on the pitch this preseason, that ball was going in the net. When Saba was on the pitch this preseason, that ball was
from the same spot too, like on the left, cut in on his right, side netting.
Yeah. I mean, and it really was a nifty piece of quality footwork to get. Did I just say quality? Quality side.
It's a right. It's a right.
Yeah, but to get that ball through the two defenders, it looked like it should have been an easy block, and it wasn't. And it wasn't, and the goalkeeper had no chance on it. So
it looked like what Mo Salah does from the right. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Liverpool references. You're 11 points clear, and you just can't stop talking about it. All right. No, it was good, and it was.
Hey, look! At least I'm not going to be in a relegation battle anymore. So thank you, Big Ange. I was worried there for a minute.
And Chelsea will just continue to be mediocre at best. All right. So wrapping up, number 5. There have been 2 times I think in the past few years that I can personally remember when it was loud as it was last night. One was Miami in the playoffs, and the other wasn't even when Atlanta was playing. It was when Newcastle was here. Oddly enough, scoring against Chelsea. It's fine. Yeah, it was fine.
And it was Miggy.
I was happy to see it. And that building, when that happened, the pop, very similar to last night. It is good to see that energy back. I'm really, really happy we got the win. I think I would have been a little crushed if we hadn't, because I'll take the rest of the season as it comes now. I needed to start off with this momentum.
I said
the hype has been built up so much. And the problem with the hype this year, as opposed to other years, there's always hype and hope at the start of every season, even with San Jose. But geez, the Quakes, they might be for real now. 4 goals, I believe they scored.
Well, they usually Bruce Arena teams apparently get a bump and do something.
Well, there you go.
The
problem with the hope and hype this time is there's a really good case to make for it. It's not blind hope. It's not just optimism for let's get out there and support them anyhow. I can make a really convincing argument of why we should be excited this season and the reasons for it. And if it didn't work out last night or doesn't work out this season, oh God help us, because then we're in sort of the Miami situation from last year, where if I'm a Miami supporter and I'm knocked out by Atlanta United, I ask my front office, okay, so what do we have to do here? Yeah. So thank God. Thank you, Edwin. Appreciate you. Thank you, Latté. I appreciate you.
I turned to you, I think, at the 82nd minute.
Felt like a draw.
And I said, this is going to be, I think we're going to draw. I think it was actually, and maybe at the 80th, I said, I think we get a draw here. And you said, yeah. And I said, and this is going to be one of those draws.
I think it was before Edwin got subbed on.
It was before he was even on, but I said that. I said, this is going to be a draw that feels like a loss because we needed to win this. We needed this so badly. Yeah. This is the first game. Miggy back. I mean, the Miggy effect was real. It really is, and we needed it. We really, the 65,000 people in that stadium last night needed that goal, needed that third goal. And I didn't think it was going to come. I didn't. And I think that that's the trauma. Don't you think, Jennifer? That, it's the trauma talking. It's the trauma talking.
Well, no, because we've been so used to watching them not even
decide
to start. No, well, yes, but not even start trying to play until like the 75th, 80th minute.
Well, that was last year. Like, we were used to disappointment. We were used to disappointment.
Needing to be backs against the wall. We've seen it too often where we would play well if our backs are like up against it. And we kind of saw that yesterday a little bit, backs up against it. So another habit we need to break.
But the difference is the backs were against it and they got what they needed to out of it.
And we did show up at least in the attack the whole time. I think in the past we've been like, now we start playing. I think we were playing the whole time. Defensive problems aside, at least in the progression forward towards goal, that was there consistently enough for me.
And the other thing that we're used to, that we got used to last year, is not, I don't want to say failing because that sounds so determinate, but failing in the biggest moments when we needed it the most. Okay. And I'm talking about this even on a personal level from last year. Like I said, this is the trauma talking. That's a very good way to say that. We were talking about how awful things felt for 6 months last year. And then so many other things went poorly in the off season. I'm not going to say what they were, but if you know me, you know what I'm talking about. So we needed this in so many more ways than just to have our soccer team get 3 points. We needed this. The city needed this. The fans needed this.
I just had a thought too, because like so many times last year, we would sit here and we talk about, the refs was bad, or man, we were like this inch away from getting that, the other.
It wasn't great last night. 10 minutes.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about but no. Okay. There's a lot of things that ref got wrong yesterday, but we got a couple of real lucky breaks. We got that one crossbar at the death. That was a lucky break.
Usually that doesn't go our way.
Break. Right. And because of the 10 minutes of stoppage, after that ball went dead, we didn't restart again, even though they were in the middle of the attack. And, a lot of other refs under different circumstances might have let play continue because of where the momentum was in the game. Right. That, like we're sitting here like, God, blow the whistle, blow the whistle. No, he didn't have to swallow the whistle. That's not what every ref does. So sometimes, it's, when you're going to have one of those magical winning, magical seasons or whatever, sometimes you got to have breaks that go your way. We didn't get a whole lot of that last year.
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm a big believer in making your own luck, but there are things that are out of your control. You need some of those things to break your direction.
Yep. And we haven't had a lot of that. So it would be nice.
We haven't, and we got it last night.
It would be nice.
I would have been crushed if that ball just snuck under the crossbar, just banged down over the line. That would have been so
before we wrap up,
so let's be happy.
No, so we won, so we can be happy.
It's the trauma.
We'll be the happy trauma kids.
It's the trauma talking. Let me get it out.
I know.
All right, what were you going to say, Jennifer? Send us home?
I really wanted to put some big snaps and some big, big thank yous in the air to the amazing work done by the Tifo and banner team.
Great Tifo.
The 10 new banners that are up in
Great
the banner
banners.
And the Tifo
really well done.
The really, really well done, quality artwork, great concepts. I heard that that 2 of those banners were actually submitted from people who aren't members of SG, so that's pretty
cool. That's how you grow it. I love it.
Yeah. They've got a submission form. Send your ideas in at under ATL_Gulch.com on Insta. We all want to hear from you.
Cool.
But they look great. Tifo looked fantastic. I thought that was great. And to everybody that helped put that tailgate on in whatever capacity you volunteered to make that magical day happen, thank you.
Including coming and buying a tailgate ticket, buying some food, like supporting it, not just volunteering, but also volunteering, like all of it. It does take everybody to make it doesn't just happen, man.
Yep.
Like if you love something, you have to give back to it. And this is
this
how
our
you give
home.
back to
This
it.
is everybody's
and
home.
This is how we give back.
It's not just my home. Yeah, it's not just my home or your home or Kat's home it's our home.
That's right.
So thank you for supporting it. Thank you for helping to keep the foundation underneath it. Like we've all needed this.
Yep,
for sure.
So,
Jennifer's done her best to get me to cry. She has failed. Thank you very much for supporting everything, including us and Mason Mill and Atlanta United Fan TV.
Oh, hey, Glenn, you want to drop some promos on what we have coming up?
It's coming. I'm getting there. I promise you, I got my notes. I'm not going to mess it up like I usually skip over stuff. I got my notes out tonight.
Come on.
But
ride in on your little scooter.
We appreciate it all. And thank you to Michael and AJ as well for continuing to help us with this pod. And we help there with their pod and all of it. So if you could please like, subscribe, review, hit all the buttons, etc., that would be helpful. We do have some other cool stuff coming up later this season, including featuring Decatur FC, coach and manager, and possibly a player as well. Guys, if you haven't been to a Decatur FC match, if you didn't go to their inaugural season, catch any of those at Decatur High School last year, you need to go. You're right on top of the action, and the action is good. Like, it's really good football. And again, if you love something, you gotta put in a little bit of time, effort, money, resources, to support it, to let them know that you love it and you want it to continue to grow. And it was packed out, especially that inaugural game, the couple other games I went to. It's a really good turnout, and it's easy to get to. There's a MARTA station right there. There's plenty of parking around. Decatur's pretty accessible.
I think it was like a 5-minute walk from the CNN Center. What formerly the CNN Center.
Oh no, I'm talking about Decatur.
Decatur's at Decatur High School. They play at Decatur High School.
Decatur
oh,
FC.
I'm sorry, you
Decatur
guys.
FC.
I was in a different world.
Yeah, I know.
I was efforting on something else.
Yeah, no, it's
My
all good.
bad.
It's all good.
So
we also have some more fun content coming from the Ladies Football Forum.
Ladies Footy Forum. And
we're very excited about some things that we're working on with that.
If you haven't entered yet, there is the FanTV MLS Table Prediction Contest. I have shared that link on our various social media channels and on Discord.
Everybody weigh in.
I will be sharing that again around. It is open to everyone, even if you are not in the Discord, even if you are not in a supporters group. If you just listen to this pod, whatever, come and join it. It's free. We've got a ton of fun prizes.
Fabulous prizes this season.
Lots of high take
Fabulous
stuff,
prizes.
lots of Atlanta United stuff, even some Hawks gear. Bless their hearts. I do have some Hawks gear I can give away. You can still wear it proudly. It's fine. Even if this team will never make the playoffs. It's fine. Everything's fine. And it's fun. It's easy to play. We use Google Forms to collect all the information. Just, when you fill out the form, you'll leave your screen name or your real name and an email so we can keep you, if you're not in the Discord, posted on the results of the contest as we go throughout the season. It's easy to do. Basically, you're just going to, after week 3, you can make changes up until week 3, and then the contest will be locked. Predict where all the teams are going to land in their respective conferences. If you choose LAFC to win the West and you get that correctly, you get 3 points. If your prediction is one place off of that, LAFC goes in second, but you said first, you will get 2 points. And then 1 point for being within 2 places. And 0 points, obviously, for beyond that. We'll total up the scores. And then we will have a first, second, and third place. And I will provide periodic updates throughout the season as far as who's in the lead. It's fun and it's free. It's just another way to engage with the soccer community around here. All right, y'all. I think that about wraps it up. We will be back next week for Charlotte. I will be there. I'm going. Jennifer, are you going to Charlotte?
I will be there too. Come see us
Are you taking the bus or are you driving?
Oh, I'm driving. I am the beer bus because I am in charge of all the Gulch provided liquor for the tailgate.
All right. I will be driving as well. But I think a couple supporters groups, Footy Mob, I think has a bus, All Stripes.
It's the whole Gulch collective. Okay. We have the bus and then we have the supporters tailgate parking.
Cool.
Tailgate parking lot available. We are going to be doing some, reasonably decent setups, but if you are parking in the lot, you will be allowed to tailgate Charlotte's always a fun away. And
it is.
Oh, hey, shout because we will be celebrating a big birthday for one fabulous friend of the pod, Philip White.
Hey,
It's his birthday.
Cool.
So happy pre-birthday, Philip! Yay!
Happy birthday, Philip. Hope everybody's gonna, if you can. It's like Jennifer said, Charlotte's a good away match. It's like Nashville, and it's even closer than Nashville.
Nearest neighbor.
It's not hard to get to, and it's actually a really good time. And the stadium is pretty well positioned to a lot of great little pubs and bars and restaurants around there. It's pretty accessible, and
what is it like 3.5 hours?
3.5 hours or so.
Yeah.
It's a good time. It's a good little day trip.
That's a good couple of Taylor Swift's albums away. Okay.
The club,
that's like two of our podcasts, and you're there.
That's true.
It's true.
What does that say about our podcast?
Sometimes just one of our podcasts, depending on how much we've grown on, like we're currently doing.
Anyway, if you haven't already, please like us, like us, subscribe on your various podcatchers. Give us a follow, say hey over social media, as we love hearing from you guys.
We're everywhere.
We're looking forward.
We're on X, we're on BlueSky, we're on Facebook. You can email us 5takesonthefivestripes@gmail.com. You can join the Atlanta United Fan TV. I always post that link in the show notes to join that particular server. However you all want to do it, or just come up and make me feel really awkward and say how much you like the show and do it in person, and you'll get a weird reaction from me. That's always fun.
You might even make Glenn cry.
Maybe. Quit trying. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
It's always a possibility.
Stone face this year. It's not going to happen. It's going to happen. It probably will happen at Unified Match some other time. Probably.
There are 3 guaranteed things to happen on this podcast. I will be crass. Jennifer will have a cat walk in front of her webcam, and Glenn will cry.
All right.
It's just the way it is.
Anything else? Should we say goodbye? We good?
Let's have a great season, y'all. Let's have some fun. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm so excited.
All right. Well, we will be back in a week's time. Maybe even be able to record Saturday night if we get back early enough. I'm getting a head shake from Jennifer. We will record Sunday.
No. What part of it's Philip's birthday did you
Fair
not
enough,
hear?
Fair enough. Copy that. Understood. Sorry, Philip.
Well, you guys, I would say we have some meowvelous moments ahead, and we should pounce on the celebration of this match.
Like I said, we'll be back in a week's time. Until then, y'all be good. We will be back.
Meow.
The meow puns, man.